Hello YouTube, it's me TR Wilderness and welcome to this month's end of month bot haul for May 2020. You could probably see from the thumbnail on the video, didn't have much of a haul this month. In fact, of the 7 items you see on the thumbnail, until this morning I only had 6 items to show you, but had a last minute arrival today, which was a bit of a surprise, but I don't know, I'll get into that at the end of the video. For now, let's get started. And as this is a short haul, I'm gonna kind of add in a few extra bits. Like I'm gonna give you some history about what happened at the beginning of the month, what I actually ordered, and then you'll understand as we go through the month stuff that didn't turn up and why I'm feeling the way I feel about this haul. So, as per usual, I placed a number of orders on the 1st of May. But before we get into that, a little bit of housekeeping. Now, you remember over the last couple of months, I got this thing. I originally got the upgrade kit, and then last month I got hold of the white prime to go with it. So this is the SND-04 Primo Mortis X, or X-Mortice, and it's basically IDW Nova Prime, made out of a big third-party upgrade kit and a Combiner Wars white Optimus Prime underneath. Now, overall, this thing's cost me over well over 100 quid, about £103 with the upgrade kit and the core bot that I went with it. And last month, or back in the last month, I put it together. Now, I had been warned by Mr. James Lai of Max Me Love Toys that there's a bit of an issue with these waist pieces on in here. There's 2 waist pins. There's an upper and a lower waist pin, a long one and a short one. And he'd warned me that the long pin, if you push it through the wrong way, it's got a knurled end. And if you push it through the wrong way, it gets irretrievably stuck and you can't do nothing with it. Fortunately, I pushed it through the right way, but it was the lower pin that actually connects the waist piece together. I had problems with that. I managed to push it out, and when I did put the upgrade kit on, it came with some upgraded hip ratchets, which I sort of fitted first and then did the legs. Obviously, when I put the waist piece back together, I used the this is the upgraded waist piece on the front. I used the original waist piece, and because the upgraded ratchets are a bit more severe than the original ratchets, it was very tight when I fitted it together, and it basically locked it solid. And when I went to use the leg ratchets, I stripped them off. So, as you can hear, the hip ratchets barely work. I mean, if you flip them round, sort of, you see, if you flip them round 180 degrees, they work. But I've stripped them, and on this side as well. See, I've stripped them, and it's going to be such a palaver to push that little pin out, because when I was putting it back in, it went in crooked, and I forgot to add this this grey stem piece in between, which you're supposed to put, so I had to take it out again. So I had a right game doing that, and I wouldn't say I almost ruined the figure doing it, but it come close. So yeah, I've ruined the hip ratchets, and yeah, so it wasn't. And a bit of a mare putting it together. We've got the finished article. It's pretty cool. It's a bit of a bear to transform, because obviously it's a Combiner Wars Optimus Prime with a load of third-party upgrade bits on. Going from robot to truck mode is a bit of a mission. It's easier to go from truck to robot than robot to truck, and it's the same when you get an official figure that you add a third-party armor kit for, and it's transformable. Because I've got a few figures that are like that, especially these Ultra Magnus upgrade sets, like the Fans Project TFX7 blue armour that you put on Classics Ultra Magnus. It's it's an absolute nightmare to transform with the armour on. You usually have to take bits of it off, transform it into robot mode, and then stick the armour back on. Same sort of deal with this guy. My main thought with this, is it worth the price I paid for it? And I would say no. It's definitely not worth £100. I mean, the upgrade kit is kind of hard to find and quite expensive, and then you've got on top of that the price of trying to track down one of these white Combiner Wars Optimus Primes, which go for a premium price. So yeah, to me this thing is not worth over £100. It's worth probably about 60, 65 at the most, because at the end of the day, under all this fancy plastic, you've got basically a Combiner Wars Voyager figure. But I've done him. I've got him on display on my detail, and I could fix the ratchets. I'll put the original ratchets back in, but it's just such a palaver to push that pin out and put it all back together, so I'm not going to bother with that. So anyway, that's something I've done. I've got this thing together. It's big and impressive, but it's not worth the price of admission, I'd say. Right, and something else that happened last month. I placed an order with AliExpress on the 14th of April for 2 figures, third party KOs, the Mac Fans Toys VS01, VS02. They're their upscaled versions of Chrome Dome and Weird Wolf for the Unique Toys Palm Collection figures. I've ordered those, and I ordered it on, the 14th of April, and come the 1st of March, they hadn't turned up yet, and that was just a portent of what was going to come with my international parcels this month. But anyway, so that's the housekeeping out of the way. Now get on to 1st of March. I placed another order with AliExpress for a big sort of third-party masterpiece bot from Fans Hobby. And then I placed an order for 3 items from In Demand Online. A Studio Series Voyager figure, a Studio Series Deluxe figure, and some Reprolables. Then I placed 2 orders with 11th Street. Now, 11th Street is a Korean sort of website, a bit kind of similar to Amazon, and like Gmarket Korea. It's a website in Korea that sells all sorts of goods online, very similar to Gmarket Korea. And it had been suggested to me by KR Brickbot, a YouTube reviewer in Korea who actually does Korean English speaking reviews on Korean toys. So you want to go check him out. Who suggested to me that I should check out 11th Street, and when I initially went on the website and looked at it, it looked virtually identical to Gmarket Korea, and I've had a bit of a bad time with Gmarket Korea, mainly because a couple of the items I ordered from them, they came through with customs hits, and that put me off buying stuff from Gmarket Korea, because the whole point of buying from these Korean websites is you buy something under the price of the eBay scalper prices that I'm used to paying, but yeah, it didn't work out. It ended up being more expensive for a couple of the items I bought from there. So I was a bit reluctant to pull the trigger on 11th Street. But recently, eBay, a lot of the eBay sellers, who sell Korean toys, have been whacking up their postage costs, most notably Mr. Soon. I may have mentioned this before, I can't remember whether I did or not. He used to do all his stuff, free post, but now he's all of a sudden he's put like an £18 to £20 postage fee on all the items that he's selling, and I have to add the shipping price, because at the end of the day, when you do your PayPal payment, the shipping price is included in the payment, so it's one payment. And some people ignore the shipping price and just recognise paying the item price. Well, at the end of the day, I include the shipping price with the item price, so it's all one price to me. And yeah, he upped his price with these shipping fees that he's introduced, and he's now priced himself out of the market as far as I'm concerned. I just cannot justify spending the money with him, which is unfortunate, because I've done so much business with him over the years. I've bought probably about 70, 80 items from him. Spent like over £2,000 with him over the years, but he's decided to go down this route of you know, upping the ante in the cost department, and I just can't do that. And you know, he's proliferal on eBay for the amount of stuff that he sells. He was my main go-to guy for Korean toys, but there are a few competitors on eBay, but again, he was always undercut then by a couple of pounds. His prices were always slightly lower than his competition, but now I don't know whether to buy, you know, from his competition or not. So what I decided to do, well, okay, I'll give this 11th Street a shout. So I looked on there and I saw a couple of figures being sold for ridiculously cheap prices, but when I factor in the shipping and the likelihood that they're going to get a customs hit, they still would have come in under the prices that these figures go for on eBay. So I thought it was worth a pop. And the first figure I ordered was Hello Carbot Proud Jet. Now, Proud Jet, if I remember, I'll put a picture of it in here. It's a combiner. It's got this little orange Humvee, which is called Jesty. Now, he's the figure that I really want. I want Jesty. Proud is this big, ugly red dump truck, and I mean the proportions on it are hideous. It's got tiny wheels, got like huge bulbous bonnet, and it looks like a Tonka toy. It doesn't look like anywhere near a realistic truck. It looks hideous. So I didn't want to get Proud. I just wanted Jesty, but you can't buy Jesty on his own. You have to buy him with Proud. And there are some other bots you can buy. You can snap on these things to make Hyperbuildian. I'd seen the price this thing was going for. It's going for over £100 on eBay, or around about 95 to 100 plus, and I wasn't prepared to pay that amount of money for it. So I went on to 11th Street and managed to find someone selling it a lot cheaper, and with the postage, it come through to just over £81. So I bought it, and then I bought another Hello Carbot figure. I got Please Save the Moon Sonar Diver, which is another submarine former. Looks quite interesting. I got that Chinese submarine bot a while back, and I quite fancy another sub former, so I went for that. So I ordered all that stuff on the 1st of May. So bearing in mind, I've just ordered 3 international parcels, the AliExpress, and 2 parcels from 11th Street. Right, so moving forwards to the 4th of May and the first of this month's arrivals. My parcel from In Demand arrived with the items that I ordered. And they were Studio Series, Studio Series 60 Voyager Sentinel Prime. Now, I saw this was coming out and I thought it looked pretty cool. And I remembered that I've got the original Dark of the Moon Voyager figure, and I thought it'd be pretty cool to get this and do, you know, a direct comparison with the two. And to be honest, there's no contest. This thing kicks the ass of this in pretty much every area. I mean, the painting, the sculpting, the transformation, the articulation, this thing just kicks this one's ass. It's really cool. I really like it. The alt mode is looks really realistic. Could probably do with a few more paint apps. That's the only thing. A few more silver highlights on it wouldn't go amiss, especially on the truck mode, because it's all this sort of charcoaly black and this deep red. It's got the awesome, you know, head sculpt that looks just like a robotic Leonard Nimoy, and God rest his soul. It's a really, really cool figure, and I'm glad I got it. I really, 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 really like it. And picked that up. And then the other bot I got, Jet Shatter from Studio Series, number 59, Deluxe Jet Shatter. Now, for my crimes, I got the car Shatter at one of the TF Nations a couple of years ago, and this thing is absolute garbage. It is absolute garbage. The head sculpt doesn't look nothing like the character. It's got a really fussy, finicky transformation. The vehicle mode doesn't peg together properly. Bits pop off when you're transforming it. and it's not that great. This thing, on the other hand, great transformation. As you can see, it's got a screen accurate head sculpt, and it pegs together beautifully in alt mode, and lovely moulding, lovely paint apps, great articulation, fantastic figure. The only gripe I've got is this fussy backpack. There's so many. It has got a way it's supposed to look, but it's really a bit ungainly, I think, a little bit fussy, a bit fiddly. But apart from that, I love this thing. It's a really great little figure. Far superior to this thing. This is just a hot mess. But this thing is a really good figure. If you're thinking of getting her, get her. She's brilliant. I mean, the alt mode, it kind of looks like a Harrier jump jet, but not quite. Pretty cool. Really awesome figure. Glad I got it. Now, those two figures came to $49.99, and IndieMand have a £50 sort of like free shipping thing that they do. You know, you get you know, if you're paying over £50 or £50 or over, you get free postage. But I didn't quite qualify for the £50 free shipping. They didn't quite come to £50, so I decided to buy something else to make up the cost rather than pay the postage fee. So what I ordered was some Reprolables for Titan's Return Wolfwire, and as you can see, I've put them on. And so here is my Titan's Return Wolfwire with these Reprolables on. They're a bit subdued. They don't really do a great deal to the character. I mean, there's a few sort of like silver sort of like panels, that little panels that you put on here and there. Doesn't make a massive difference to the figure, really, because there are some Reprolables or Toy Hacks Reprolable sets that you can put on figures that really make them pop. I mean, this guy, for instance, Mastermind Creations Jaguar. I mean, he's fairly black and silver, just fairly plain, but you put the Reprolables on and he transforms into almost a realistic looking cassette. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. He's a really awesome figure. And I've got what is it, Titan's Return, another figure that's really enhanced by Reprolables, Leader Soundwave. I mean, when you turn him into his base mode, he basically turns into a cyber disco. He's fucking brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I love it, and it really made me want to get this figure just so I could put the Reprolables on him. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered getting him. So yeah, Reprolables sometimes make a big difference, but not so much on this figure. I mean, they were only $2.99. They were reduced in price. I bought them because, you know, I thought, you know, I could enhance my my Wolfwire a little bit by putting some stickers on him, but didn't make a whole lot of difference, to be honest. But then again, you know, I only bought them as a means to get free postage. So, oh well, it is what it is. So that was my in-demand items that arrived on the 4th. Now, the next date of note is May the 6th, where I placed another couple of orders. I ordered a Cyberverse Ultra figure off eBay, and I also ordered another international parcel off eBay, a Platinum Year of the Snake Leader Class figure. So one of those fancy, you know, Platinum year of the whatever figures that they did. I ordered one of those from a guy in Taiwan. So that was another international parcel that I got coming in. So there we go. Then on the 6th of May, things started to go wrong. Right. That 11th Street order that I placed on May the 1st, the first one for my first ever 11th Street order for the Hello Carbots Proud Jet. I received notification from 11th Street that the seller has declined my order and cancelled it and is going to give me a refund. And the reason that was given, apparently he refused to ship to the UK. He refused to ship internationally. And even though it quite clearly said on his sort of website page that he was was doing international shipping, and this is the thing on 11th Street and Gmarket Korea, you have to make sure that they've got that little plane icon in the corner of the screen to say that denotes that they will do international shipping. And he must have looked at my address, this guy's in the UK, and said, no, I'm not doing it, and he flat bluntly refused to ship to the UK and decided to give me a refund instead. So I got notification that I would be receiving a refund and my order was cancelled. So that's one international package which is gone. One item that I'm not going to be able to show you, or wasn't going to be able to show you this month. So that's one thing that didn't go to plan this month. And so that was the 6th of May. So move forward a couple of days, we get to the 8th of May, and then I got my refund from 11th Street for this item, this Hello Carbot Proudjet. Now, then something weird happened, right? When I originally placed the order, when I paid for it via PayPal, I paid £81.78. When I got my refund back into my PayPal account, I got £78.82. So I was missing £2.96. And the reason being, now PayPal, right, when you buy something overseas, if you're paying, if you're doing a currency conversion to pay for like US dollars or French francs or euros or whatever, if you're doing a currency conversion by buying something from overseas and you're doing a currency conversion, PayPal take the money from your bank account or your credit card, and then they do the conversion for you and then they pay on your behalf. However, when they do this currency conversion, they charge you slightly more than you actually need to pay. Because I've noticed that when I've been buying these Korean bots off eBay, I've noticed that you get the price on screen, what you have to pay, and then when I come to pay it, it's always a couple of quid more. And I never really noticed, because it was only just like 2 or 3 quid more, or whatever it was. I never even noticed or bothered about it. But now that I've got a refund, I should get all my money back, and I didn't. This £2.96 is that sneaky little PayPal fee that they charge when they do a currency conversion they're doing your transactions. They charge you a little bit more for the currency conversion than you would have to pay otherwise, and they keep that money as a means of generating income. But they don't tell you about it up front. It's like a sneaky little tax that they levy on you. I'm sure if you went through their fine print on their website, because they always have that, I'm sure there'll be some little clause at the bottom that where they mention that this is what they do and that it justifies themselves for doing it. But yeah, I was a little annoyed that I got my refund and I was nearly 3 quid short on money I got back for that cancelled order. So yeah, pretty pissed off about that. But I'm now a little bit wary about buying stuff overseas, well, through different websites. And I actually decided, well, let's put it this way. This was like a strike against 11th Street. I know it wasn't necessarily 11th Street's fault that guy decided to not ship to the UK and cancel my order and gave me a refund. That's not necessarily 11th Street's fault. That was the seller being an arsehole. But yeah, but it's my first ever purchase from the website and something's gone wrong with it. And then, as you will see, I had other issues arising from my 11th Street purchases. But let's move on, shall we? Right, so that was on the 8th. Then on the 11th, the next thing arrived, which was that that little eBay Cyberverse figure that I ordered on the 6th. And yeah, Cyberverse Ultra Class Rack and Ruin. Now, wow. Yeah, I did an unboxing on it, didn't I? So you know I've got this thing. Yeah, it's Rack and Ruin, man. It's the first official Rack and Ruin, and I had to get it. I can remember some other UK YouTuber did I think it was a world first review on it, because he was one of those lucky ones who managed to pick it up at Forbidden Planet, because they managed to get an early stock in it and they threw them out ahead of the street date, and stuff like that. But now it's finally starting to filter into the UK stores, and there was some shop up at Pickering in North Yorkshire who got them in and was selling them on eBay for 20 quid, so that was near enough, so I went and got him. Yeah, now I was going to get this thing anyway because of who it is, because it's Rack and Ruin. It's a great little figure in its own right. It transforms into some sort of Cybertronian armoured car tank type thing, which is neither here nor there, but it kind of looks cool. It's got that that stupid armour gimmick that flips round. I'm not a huge fan of this, but it's a thing. You could just sort of fold it back away, and then if you don't activate it, then you don't need to use it. So it's neither a thing. Now my main, you can call it a nitpick with this figure, is that it's not the Rack and Ruin that I wanted. The Rack and Ruin that I wanted should have been the Marvel G1 Rack and Ruin, who was actually he was two separate bots with legs, two arms, and they were conjoined at the shoulder. They were like the world's first Siamese bot, and I don't know whether it's politically correct to say Siamese, or should I say conjoined bot. This guy, they've sort of rationalised him. He's got a left arm and a right arm, and he's got two legs instead of four legs, and in the show they have kind of got two separate torsos and a bit of a joint at the shoulder, but the toy it has got a gap down the middle in the show, but they haven't got the gap down the middle. And I know people don't like to see fresh air through their Transformers, but this is one Transformer where I wouldn't have minded if they'd have put a noticeable gap down the middle to simulate the fact that he's actually got two separate torsos that are conjoined together at the shoulder. But anyway, and the reason I wanted to get a Rack and Ruin is because I'm trying to build my Marvel G1 Wreckers lineup. 6 characters, you've got Twin Twist, Top Spin, Whirl, Roadbuster, Impactor, and Rack and Ruin. So I can sort of do that, but I haven't got my G1 Rack and Ruin, but I haven't got a G1 Impactor either. So I've got a G1 Whirl, I've got a G1 Twin Twist and Top Spin, and I've got a G1 Roadbuster. So I've got 4 out of the 6 figures in G1 form. I can do a couple of them as Generations figures, and I can do a couple of them as Cyberverse figures. So yeah, I got him. He's great. He's an awesome little figure, and finally got an official Rack and Ruin. So I'm quite pleased, even though he isn't quite what I want, but he will do, and I'm glad I got him. Right, so still on the 11th of May, I then received another refund from 11th Street. Now this was a refund on the shipping price for the second item I ordered, which was Sonar Diver. And for whatever reason, and I think this seems to be a common thing with 11th Street, they overestimate the shipping price when you're doing your payment for your shipping fee. And I got a refund on my PayPal account of £5.92. So that was something. I got a little bit money back on that figure that I bought. But it might get a customs hit yet. So this thing could all be for naught. So that happened. And I then decided I was going to give 11th Street another chance, and I ordered a third item, or you could say a second item, because the first one got cancelled, of a Korean figure, and it was Hello Carbots Technomaster, which is one of their new figures for, is it season 7? or season 8, is it season 7, season 8, the new season anyway. They've got this new guy, this blue and white, kind of looks like a futuristic police car, and he turns into this robot. And apparently, he's called Techno Master. It's techno dance rather than technological, and it's a pretty cool figure. I mean, KR Brickbot did a review on it that was pretty good. I saw Kura do a review on it, and I thought, even though it doesn't transform into a realistic alt mode, the robot mode is, it's a fully when I say fully articulated for a carbot, it's got all the articulation and a decent transformation, no one-step gimmicks or anything like that, and it's a pretty cool figure, and I decided to get it, so I ordered that from 11th Street as a replacement for that Proud Jet that got cancelled, and that was on the 11th. So moving on to the next notable event. There was a bit of a gap now, and so that was the 11th, and then there was a bit of a gap. And the next thing was an arrival on May the 18th when my AliExpress order that I placed on the 1st of May for the Fans Hobby Masterpiece figure turned up. And it took 18 days to come from China. And it's the only international parcel that's turned up this month. Out of all the international parcels that I bought this month, and the one that was sort of carried over from last month. So, Fans Hobby Master Builder MB02 Mega Claw, or their Masterpiece Repugnus. Now, I wanted to get this guy as soon as I decided I was going to character mold set collect Repugnus. I had to get one of these, and I've been watching on eBay. There was somebody on eBay in China who had one for just under £100 for about 92 quid. But I've been watching it for a couple of months, but the price has been creeping up. It went up to like 110, well, just over 100. Then it went up to about 112, then 120, and I think they're up to about 130, 140 quid now. When these things came out, they were about 115, 120 quid when they came out. That was sort of like the going retail rate for them, and I refused to pay over that. So I went on to AliExpress and I found a dealer on AliExpress that was doing it for just over 90 quid, which was near enough, and with the postage, it was about 96 quid or whatever. About just under 96 quid. And he arrived on the 18th. So I've got all the Repugnuses now. It's my first Fans Hobby figure. It's big, it's heavy. It's got ratchets, and it's got a lot of die cast on it. It's got like huge, great chunks of die cast on his feet. Really, really heavy, really chunky. Quite a simple transformation into into monster mode, but he's all right, and I quite like him. He's pretty cool. So managed to get hold of him finally, and like I said, he was the only international parcel that turned up this month, and took a little bit longer than what it should have done. I mean, I would have expected this thing to take like 12 to 15 days, but it took sort of 18. So that wasn't too bad. I mean, that's still within the realms of reality as regards to like a shipping speed. For an international parcel, especially one from the Far East. But as for the rest of them, well, yeah, we'll get to that. So yeah, got him. And also on the 18th, I got yet another shipping refund from 11th Street. Yes, this time I got refunded £2.17 for my Hello Carbots Techno Master that I bought. Now, the Techno Master, I bought it on my credit card rather than through PayPal, because I saved a bit of money that way, as you can understand. And also, if it went tits up like the last one, I had to get a refund, then I would have got all my money back, only apart from most of my money back. So yeah, So I don't know what it is about 11th Street. They can't get their shipping prices right. So 11th Street's looking a bit at the moment. I'm waiting to see when these parcels turn up, because I reckon they're going to get customs hits, and if they do, that's it. I'm going to cancel and delete my 11th Street account, because I am not impressed so far with how things have been going with them. That's all I'm going to say on the matter for now. So, that's the 18th. Right, then we had another gap, and the next thing wasn't until May the 29th. So now, obviously, we get to the 29th of the month, and I've got a bunch of international parcels that are, on the way, allegedly. Now, I was given tracking codes for these. Now, 2 of the tracking codes, that's the AliExpress I bought in April, had a tracking code which worked with Royal Mail, and so did the tracking code for Megatooth, that worked with Royal Mail as well, and also that package I ordered from Taiwan, where is it? The Platinum Year of the Snake leader class figure, that had a code that worked with the Royal Mail website. But anyway, you put said codes into the Royal Mail website. Now, I've got a sheet here with the details. The AliExpress parcel that I ordered last month, it was purchased on the 14th of April. It was shipped on the 21st of April. And then the last shipping update was on the 26th of April. And since then, there's been no word, no update on it. AliExpress tracked it until it left the country of origin, and then nothing. And then the tracking code I was given, you put it into the Royal Mail website, you get this. I did a screen grab on my phone. As you can see, I've blotted out the code, but that's what I've been getting all the time. It's saying, sorry, we're unable to confirm the status of your item every time. So that tracking code is just doesn't work. Right. Then we've got the Taiwan one, which was purchased on the 6th of May, shipped on the 7th, last update on the 8th of May, and all I get from that is your package is it was tracking response. It was basically it's left the country of origin, or it was being picked up by our agent or whatever, and there's been no updates on it since. Right, so that's disappeared. And as for the 11th Street ones, well, their tracking codes work with Parcel Force, and you go into Parcel Force, and all you get is a delivery agent collected. In the sake of the sonar diver figure, it says it was collected on the 11th of May in the country of origin, and that's all we've got for that. And then the Techno Master delivery agent collected 14th origin country. So yeah, these tracking codes, they're just not working. They're not worth they're not worth the paper they're printed on. They're just useless, absolutely useless. And I don't know where these packages are. They're just lost in the world somewhere. Now, I think basically, I think what's happened is there's a bit of a lag from when this coronavirus pandemic hit the world. The international shipping network was still working as normal, but then people stopped buying parcels because they were worried about getting, infected parcels shipped in from the east, like I did. So after a bit of a lag, a bit of delay, the international shipping routes got shut down because the airlines got shut down because they didn't want to transmit the virus, via airlines, and a lot of small traffic, parcel traffic comes via airmail. So the airmail has gone to a trickle. It's still coming through, but it's nowhere near as strong or as wide or as fast as it used to be. And what international shipping airmail there is, they're basically concentrating on shipping emergency supplies, like hand sanitizer, face masks, PPE, for people on the front line, all our care workers in the hospitals and the care homes and all that. They need this stuff, so that's been getting priority to being shipped through, and regular parcels like mine are just getting sidelined in warehouses, waiting for things to get back to normal. I reckon that's what's happened to my parcels. But I wish the tracking codes would reflect this. I wish they would say, oh, your parcel is in a holding centre in such and such a place until further notice. I wish they would do some update, as if so I know where it is, rather than just showing me the last update that it got. So yeah, I've been I wouldn't say patiently waiting for these parcels to turn up, but as you can see, they've just gone AWOL. They've just gone missing, and I'm really upset because I've spent some money on these packages, and they're things that I want to get hold of. They're things I've been looking to get, and where are they? Where are they? Where are these parcels? Where's my goods that I've bought? And this is the main reason why I'm so annoyed at this month's haul. What I've got is pretty good. It's okay, but it's not as good as it could have been. And that's what's really, pulled me down as regards to this month's haul. Anyway, so we're on to May the 29th, which was a Friday, just the other day. I decided I wanted to do a top-up of my haul, buy a couple of bots, because what I had so far, only 4 bots and some stickers, not much to show for a month's haul, and I was really disappointed, so I wanted to do a topper-upper. So I decided to risk it for a biscuit, and on my way home from work on sort of Friday lunchtime, I decided to shoot straight up the Foss and go to Coventry and go to Smith's. Now, looking on the website, Smith's say that their shops are open, but what they don't tell you is they are only open to click and collect customers. So I arrived in the car park at the Airfield Retail next to Smith, and there was quite a few people there milling about, but then I saw the front of the store, and they had this sort of like cordon round the front, and you had to queue round the back, and they had one of the doors, they'd put a little kiosk window, and then the other door was shut, and there was a little table outside, and what you do is there was people who was going up to the kiosk window, they was given a code, and then they would get the item out and they'd put it on the people from the shop would bring it out, put it on a table, and then you could pick it up and you could go. Now I was hoping to go to Smith's, and the last time I went to Smith's was just before the lockdown was called, back in, was it April? No, March. I think it was March. It was the last time I went to Smith's, and they were just doing that. They just setting up the 2 metre sort of restrictions in the store, but you could still go in the store provided you observed social distancing, which was fine, and I was kind of hoping that would still be the case, because I know for a fact in my local Smiths there's a couple of figures that are possibly on the shelf, old wave toys that haven't been sold out, which don't show up on their website, so you can't do click and collect on them. There's some old Wave Studio Series figures, and there's some old Cyberverse, Spark Armor figures that they might still have in stock. But that's what I was hoping to do. But when I got there, obviously, the click and collect's in, so I went on my phone, and I click and collected Cyberverse Ultra figure. And I was sat in my car and was waiting for I received the notification straight away that I'd placed the order, but then you have to wait for a second notification which says that the item is ready to collect. So I sat in my car, and it was a raving hot day, because you know what the weather's been like lately. It's been really bright and sunny and warm. And I sat in my car, Unfortunately, I downloaded a couple of episodes of an anime series off Netflix onto my phone. Doro Hedoro. I don't know whether you've watched it. It's recently gone. It went up live on Netflix UK on Thursday. It's a Japanese anime show. It's kind of like a fantastic sort of fantasy sort of horror sort of show set in this alternative dimension. You've got this guy called Cayman who's had his head turned to a lizard's head by a sorcerer, and he's trying to find the sorcerer who did it and kill him. And it's really funny. There's a lot of really bloody violence in the thing. People getting chopped up and stuff like that. And there's a bit of a bit of fan service, a bit of titivation fan service, with some of the female characters. But it's a good show. It's a brilliant show. It's really great fun. And I've watched the first 3 episodes in the English dub, which is okay. I mean, I've watched it in Japanese before, and I like to see how close the English voices are to the Japanese originals, because it's very hard to emulate the Japanese voices. En's voice, they've fucking nailed it with the English dub. They've got En's voice just right, but Cayman's voice is a bit, could be better, I think. But anyway, I watched that, so that took up a best part of an hour, and then still hadn't received my second email notification to say that my item was ready. So I drove back home, and then about half an hour after I got back home, bing, email notification, your item's ready for collection. I thought, you bugger. So yeah, that was a bit of a pain in the arse. If I'd have known it was going to be like that, I would have pre-ordered the item I was going to buy, beforehand, like the day before, so that it would be ready to pick up when I went to Smith's on Friday. And of course I was going out of my way, I was doing an unnecessary journey, during the lockdown. I was being a bit naughty going there to pick this thing up. But now that I have to go back again, so I've had to do 2 journeys. So this whole click and collect thing has been a right pain in the arse to pick this figure up. So anyway, yesterday, Saturday, the 30th, I had to, after I'd done my weekly shop for my mum and nipped up town to get some prescription from the chemist, I jumped in the car and I went over to Smith's to pick my figure up. And Cyberverse Ultra Clobber. Now, a few big YouTubers have done reviews of this. Few Adam's done it. Mgo's done it. I think Bolt Matrix or anyway, quite a few big YouTubers have done reviews of this. Now, I've recently been watching Cyberverse Seasons 2 and been slowly working my way through Season 3, and Clobber's a pretty good character. I like Clobber's character, especially in Season 3 when her and Hot Rod fighting against the Quintessons in that Matrix-style post-apocalypse where the Quintessons have taken over Cybertron, and they basically brainwashed everyone, and they do the loop where they're in those virtual parades that keep resetting themselves, and it's really good. So I thought, I could get her, because she's basically, when people saw her design, they thought it was Lugnut, but she's very similar to Lugnut. She's like a female Lugnut, but she's a good typical thick, burly fembot, kind of like Striker from Beast Machines. But she's pretty cool, and so I decided to get her figure, and she was all right. And I only bought her largely as a top-up bot to make this haul a little bit more impressive than it actually was. Now, her figure's okay. It's decently articulated, especially considering it's a Cyberverse toy. Yes, it's got that stupid thing, the flip round, cyber armor thing. It's a thing. A robot mode's okay. It's what she transforms into that I have a bit of a problem with. Her alt mode, it's just a purple brick with a gun. It's a flying tank, Cybertronian tank, and it's like, what the hell, you know? I'm not a huge fan of her alt mode, and the whole, yeah. So yeah, she turned out to be a bit. I don't hate her. I mean, she's a decent toy, but you know, there's things about her that I don't like so much. I don't like her alt mode. I don't like the, you know, the flip round gimmick that they've given to these toys. I mean, her gun was kind of loose in her hand when I first got it, but I've put a couple of coats of that floor polish on it, and it seems to have fixed it. So yeah, she's all right. She's okay, but like I said, I bought her as a sort of like a top up sort of bot. So that was it, or so I thought. Yeah. Now I had placed on the 29th. I forgot to mention this. Also on the 29th, when I placed the click and collect order for, when I got home, I went onto Amazon and I pre-ordered a Cyberverse Deluxe bot, which was due to come out on the 1st of June. So I thought, well, that will come out. That'll be something that will arrive next month. So I'll buy that as a little follow-on bot for next month. But that was until I woke up this morning. When I woke up this morning, I got email notification from Amazon, your items are out for delivery today. I thought, oh no. I mean, I'd already closed down my paperwork for this month's haul, and now I'm getting another surprise bot at the last minute. So yeah, luckily it arrived around about midday. They had said it was going to arrive by 9 PM, in which case, I mean, I'm filming this at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's here now. Cyberverse Deluxe Grimlock. Now, I was going to get this when I saw these other Deluxe figures. I mean, I've got... who's the Cyberverse Deluxe I've already got? It's Megatron, isn't it? Yeah, I've got Megatron, and he's alright. And I wanted to get this because it's Grimlock. I have got the Spark Armor Grimlock. He's alright. And I'd like to get the ultimate one, the really, really big Cyberverse Grimlock. I'd like to get hold of that, but it's readily available overseas. But when you look at the prices, when you put the shipping price to it, it gets really expensive. And it hasn't actually come out in this country yet, so I'm going to wait. Hopefully it'll come out in this country eventually. But yeah, I've got him. He was supposed to arrive, he's supposed to come out tomorrow actually. He's supposed to come out on the 1st of June. But for some reason, Amazon got him or sent him out a day early. I did get a DVD that arrived with him at the same time, which was another item that I pre-ordered, and they said there was going to be a delay in it coming out, and it's the it's in the other room actually. I forgot to bring it through. It's Disney's Pixar Onward DVD. So yeah, I got that with him as well. So got Grimlock. Cyberverse Grimlock, Deluxe Grimlock. He's alright, he's pretty cool. He's got a nice screen accurate face, you know, unlike the other one. The Spark Armor one's kind of like got a faceplate on him. Yeah, he's alright. Bit of a fiddly transformation on the legs on this one, but apart from that, he's okay. And he's the last item that arrived this month, and as you see, it's not a great haul. I mean, it's 6 bots and some stickers. And it could have been so much more. And that's what's really upset me about what happened this month. I've got 4 international parcels that have just disappeared into thin air. And I don't know where they are. So they could be... they're obviously getting delayed somewhere along the line. I don't know why. They might have been put onto ships, in which case they're going to take 6 to 8 weeks. But I don't know. But I'm really, really disappointed. AliExpress, that one I ordered in April, I did get a message from them after it went over, the delivery went over its window, which was the final date for the delivery window on that package was 24th of May. And after it went over, I received a message from AliExpress saying, well, give it till the 18th of June, and if it doesn't arrive by then, you know, contact our customer services team, you know, and so they realise it's overdue. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty annoyed about it, to be honest, as you can understand. It should have been so much more. And as for next month, well, if international shipping's as screwed up as it obviously is, I mean, I would not recommend to anybody buying anything from the Far East right now. I mean, recently Japan issued that statement that they were cancelling all international shipping for 3 to 4 months because apparently there was a big backlog of parcels piling up. So yeah, there's something wrong with international shipping at the moment, especially from the Far East. And if you're trying to ship stuff from America, if it's from off eBay, it's usually got that global shipping program thing going on with it, where you have to pay the duty up front, and the prices they charge for shipping's a bit steep anyway. So it's not really a good idea to order from America. I think Europe's okay because stuff gets shipped by truck, and the shipping fees are reasonable. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I might have a look at Mr. Gurut Camaro again next month, that guy in the Netherlands, and see what he's got. He's got a couple of items that I might be willing to pull the trigger on next month, but we'll have to wait and see. So, yeah, that's it. That's this month's haul, such as it is. Like I said, I'm pretty upset by the way things has gone. A couple of things went wrong. Item got cancelled. I got numerous refunds. Got a bunch of international parcels that have just gone missing. The tracking codes don't work on them. And yeah, it's what I've got to show for you is not what it should have been. And yeah. So we're at the end of the video. First and worst. Right, first and worst. Now, I'm being a little unfair calling this the worst thing that I got this month. I don't hate her character. I like her character from the show. That's why I bought her toy. Her robot mode's good. She looks like a female lug nut. That she's got that going on. She's decently articulated for a Cyberverse figure. It's just that she's got that stupid flip over gimmick, which I'm not such a fan of, and her alt mode sucks. But I'm also still a little salty about the way I got her that whole click and collect palaver that went on with Smiths. That could have gone so much better. So that's the reason why she's my least favourite thing this month. And I think I've been really surprised by this guy. I really like him, and he's so much better than the old Voyager figure. He's really good. I mean, it was a toss-up between this guy and fans hobby Megaclaw. You'd probably say I should have gone with Megaclaw because it's a big third-party masterpiece figure. But this thing's so good. I like it a lot. It's awesome. So that's been me, TFR Wilderness, with my haul for May 2020, such as it was. Like I said, don't know what I'm going to buy next month. It's all up in the air. I'm a bit, hopefully some of those errant parcels will turn up next month, so I'll have something to show you then. At the moment, I don't know whether I'm going to be doing any unboxing videos next month, because if there's no parcels, there's no unboxing videos. And, well, we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So, with that said, I've been TFR Wilderness. I will see you next time. Ta-da.
It's a big blue egg.